Hello and welcome to Corero, a platform where we dissect Nigeria's political issues. My name is Godwin Sunday. As Nigeria moves closer to the 2027 elections, opposition politics is becoming one of the biggest conversations in the country's political space. In recent months, there have been growing talks of coalition, strategic alliances, and political realignment among opposition parties seeking to challenge the ruling All Progressive Congress. Parties like the People's Democratic Party, African Democratic Congress, and also all the blocs have held meetings and conventions aimed at strengthening opposition coordination ahead of 2027. The ADC in particular has gained fresh attention following coalition talks involving major political figures, although internal leadership disputes and court-related issues have also continued to generate controversy. When analysts say the opposition faces a major challenge, now the big question will now be that can different political parties and interests truly unite under a common strategy, or will internal divisions weaken their chances before the elections even begin? Now, that's on one hand. Now, public reactions online have also reflected mixed feelings, with many Nigerians expressing both hope for a stronger opposition and concerns about reoccurring political defections and internal party crisis. Tonight on Correro, we will highlight the recent developments shaping opposition politics in Nigeria and what they could mean ahead of the 2027 elections. Joining me on the table tonight is Comrade James Ezima, a public affairs analyst, and also Dr. Peter Ede, who is also a public affairs analyst and a social commentator. And both of them will help us put all of this conversation to rest. Please stay with us as the conversation begins immediately after this break. Welcome back. Now, let's even put these issues to perspective before we even dive into the conversation. Now, Nigerian's opposition politics has entered a period of intense realignment ahead of the 2027 general elections, with defections, coalition talks, internal party crises, and strategic alliances reshaping the political landscape. Now, the African Democratic Congress emerged as a major platform for coalition discussion involving opposition leaders. However, the alliances has recently faced setback due to internal disagreements, legal dispute, and mistrust among coalition members. One of the most startling shifts in 2026 is the emergence of the Nigerian Democratic Congress, the NDC. Now, the NDC is rapidly positioning itself as the primary alternative to the APC. The NDC is seen currently as a third force. So, tonight we will look into the dynamic position of the opposition parties, and I'm being joined, like I said before, by Comrade James Ezima and Dr. Peter Ede, and they'll be helping me even and us put this issue to rest. But first, gentlemen, it's a delight to have you join us on Correro.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure being here.
All right, so let's even dive into the conversation by first even getting you, Dr. Peter, to even speak to the issue. But so far, how would you even assess the current state of Nigerians' opposition politics ahead of the 2027 elections? Have opposition really learned any lesson from the 2023 general elections?
Thank you very much. Has opposition really learned any lesson? Of course, there are many lessons there to learn. And they are learning those lessons practically based on the issues they have faced, in recent times. There's, in the first place, nothing wrong with opposition parties aligning with each other in order to face, the ruling party. And this alignment has a fundamental problem. The problem I see fundamentally is the fact that government is supposed to set a pace and regulate political parties. And that is being done through the institution of the INEC. And INEC is supposed to regulate these political parties such that there is a balance. And of course, when there is no balance, there will always be problems. And so, for me, there is nothing wrong having political parties coming together, especially where there are these injustices of the winner takes it all, because there has not been a level playing ground. If not, political parties have won elections at one level or the other. ADC had, members in the House of Representatives. Some defected, some from the House of Assembly and all that. And most of them defected. Why are people defecting? Because of the imbalance. And whatever it is, you can't sit in one place and you're being oppressed. And naturally, people just see that they have to move towards what makes them happy or what makes them feel belong. So that has affected the natural inclination to have alliances in order to, unseat or work together or even put together a good framework for political system in the country. But that also based on the fact that Nigeria has failed to have a good, national development plan such that every political party can key into it, draw from it what their manifestos could look like, what they are giving to Nigerians, and what Nigerians are looking at. So nothing wrong with having political parties aligning. I'm just trying to answer that question.
All right, so let me even turn to Comrade James Ezima at this point. Opposition parties right now in the country tend to have different cracks. People's Democratic Party has its own crack. The Labour Party has its own crack. Right now, the AVC is experiencing a crack. Looking at all of these cracks within the minority political party or not too popular political party, can we say that the opposition parties are ready for 2027 with the look of things?
Well, talking about readiness of the opposition parties, yes, the opposition parties have been ready. But the challenge is the system ready to provide a kind of a fair playing field, where everybody is treated equally, all political parties are treated equally. Like Doc has said, you see how what he called the imbalance. So when you are setting rules, and some rules apply to some people, and then the other people are accommodated within the same rules, and things like that, there's a way it looks like. And then in a situation whereby the executive is seen to be interfering in the affairs of the electoral umpire, then it becomes a problem. And also when you see that the people who themselves constitute the body called the electoral umpire and the political party regulators are not doing their job as fair as could be seen by everybody. You see, there's one thing about even the judgment of a court and you proving your case in court. They will tell you have to prove your case beyond reasonable doubt.
But not
in other words,
doubt. Yeah.
yes, there should be a level of reasonable belief that the umpire is fair. You see, Nigerians are we have so many intelligent people in the country. So there are people that, even though they are not lawyers, but when they put one or two together, they know whether what the judgment of a court is fair or unfair. So that is how it is. You see, in Nigeria is such a political environment that people who benefit from impunity, they tend to justify it, forgetting that the rules today that you have accepted could be used against you tomorrow. And that is how it is. So the opposition parties are ready, very much ready. In fact, they are coming together to form a coalition, showed their readiness. But some of the internal disputes and issues surrounding what seemed to be the crack that we are talking about, is it in Labour Party, is it in the ADC, PDP, and all that, are seen as influenced from outside, not just an internal democratic process.
Well, yourself and Dr. Peter Ideb have been tilting towards one path, which is the fact that the system is not favoring if I get you correctly, the system is not favoring the opposition party. But then it was not the system that created the crack in the ADC. If you look at it critically, it's not the system that created the cracks within the Labour Party. Neither was it the system that created the cracks in the People's Democratic Party. Members of the party brought that upon themselves. Of course, the APC have also come out to say that, hey, we're not involved in the whole political tussle in ADC. But let me get you react to this, even from the position of the APC.
All right, thank you very much. You see, I will always tell people, if in the the African context, when a man is walking and he hits his leg here, he fell down ahead, what made him fall? Is it where he fell down or where he first hit his foot? Fundamentally, it is the place that he hit his foot that made him fall down. Now, that brings me to talk about the idea. What is an opposition? What is an opposition? An opposition does not necessarily mean being against. An opposition is not really against. An opposition is just having a different view, different ideology. It may not necessarily be against, but something fundamentally went wrong, that the idea of opposition is abused in Nigeria. And that is why you now see that in the political space, the opposition is seen to either be against what government is doing.
But it has always been against.
It is not.
It has always been against.
No.
In the Nigerian context, opposition has always been.
Wait, I'm telling you
please.
what it should be. And the media should report same and correct people.
From 1999 till date.
Now, I'm trying to explain something.
All right, please go ahead. I'm just trying to put the record straight.
That record you are trying to
from
put.
PDP to AD to APP, from 1999 till date, has always maintained that opposition has always been at loggerhead with the ruling party.
I'm trying to let you know that is wrong.
Within the Nigerian context, it's still wrong.
Within the Nigerian context, it is wrong.
But it is practical. It is what is obtainable.
What it should be is having an opposition with an opposite view, an opposite ideology. Nigerian politics is not based on ideology. It's based on people's interests. It's based on interest. If not, what will make the party ADC was there? It was being built by some persons who have been in the party, working and seeing that they struggle to, participate in all political. Now, it got to the time when alignment came. Those who came for alignment or those who came for the coalition saw that, the party is good enough for me to be part of it. But then, they came in with a different ideology of taking everything. And in taking everything, there came problems. Because you undermined the people who were there building the party. That is one. Two, you who feel that you want to be the president of Nigeria and you walk into a house like P2B and Konkoso and the rest who moved into ADC, they want to build Nigeria. They want to repair Nigeria. And they came into a political party and they saw that there are problems in that political party and they couldn't solve the problem in the political party. Then the next thing is to run away from the political party to another party. Each time you run from one point to another, you must still meet the same problems or the problems you will meet in different directions because you have not solved fundamentally. They are not in to build, they are in to take. That's why I tell you that whereby the idea is based on interest, not in building a system, then you have these things come into play. So the idea of opposition becoming against is based on interest. And where that interest is put before, rather than building a system that has to network with the constitution of the country, network with the national development plan, that no one should
politics is a game of interest. Let's not forget that part.
Politics. When you say politics is a game of interest, it's not holistic.
Prof, let me take the conversation to Comrade James. At this point, Nigerian politics over the years has been characterized by individualism. I think that's where we are right now. Prof. Doc has mentioned the likes of Peter Obi and Kwankwaso, Rotimi Amechi, Atiku Abubakar, and the big names that we have even within the political space. But with the current reality, can major opposition figures put aside personal ambitions long enough to build a formidable coalition in the face of current reality?
I will tell you that it will be difficult if people are not sincere. And you see, ADC as a coalition party got it wrong when they changed the original plan of the coalition. At the initial time, the original plan of the coalition, how it was advertised and how it was championed initially, was that people will stay in their political parties and then they work together, and at the end of it all, they will have a common presidential candidate that they work for, and they produce a coalition candidate that they will now contest election. They will now all support to contest election. But along the way, the thing now narrowed to individual coalition rather than a political party coalition. And that was when the whole thing became a problem. I knew that it was going to be a problem. I knew it was going to hit the rock. The moment they announced that everybody, if you want to be a member or a part of this coalition, you have to leave your political party and come. I knew it was going to end up the way it ended up. Because I was telling people, I said, these people have changed the rules for this game
from the Mbutu
in the middle
to something else.
In the middle of in the middle of the game, you are now saying that people should leave
can we blame that on the system?
No, that is not to say that individuals does not have one or two blames. It's not all the system that has the problem, but major problems and major challenges that we have faced in opposition politics especially within this period, have been influenced from outside.
So you're saying at this point
some of these
speculations. I'm asking
some of these individuals,
Progressive Congress, have been feeling some of the crisis within.
It's not a speculation. It's no longer. It's no. It's no longer a speculation.
You're saying that
it's no longer a speculation. If you watch the video of the chief of staff to the president saying, talking to one of the lawmakers that was produced by the ADC, telling him Abejide that he should stay in the party, fight them. We like what you are doing. These are the things. So there's no what confirmation. Which other confirmation do you want to get? Which of the evidence do you need to tell you that what was happening at that time in the leadership crisis in the ADC was not ordinary? And that was what had been on the lips of Nigerians right from the leadership crisis of the Labour Party. Because you will see somebody who is a Labour Party leader, the national leader of a Labour Party, is hobnobbing with the people that you are looking at as you want to take power from them, but you are seeing yourself taking pictures with some of the people and visiting them, things like that. So let us not even overlabor this issue. The issue is that the opposition coalition got it wrong when they changed the plan from the day one, because you are going to be playing into the hands of these people, because they are prepared. The ruling party is prepared. They don't want you to stand. And if you have come together in one place and under one umbrella, it was easy to destabilize the party. But if each person were working from their political party, I can tell you that it would have been very difficult for them to achieve what they achieved.
Right. Let me come back to you, Doctor. Now, Fubala, last time you were on the show, you said some of his claims are unfounded, but he has held sway to his own belief that he is the right person to occupy the seat of the chairman of the ADC. And as such, he is not a factional leader. Lead us through this position, and what is the position of the ADC? Is Nafubala right to say that he is not a factional leader, but actual leader of the ADC?
What makes him the actual leader of the ADC? If I'll ask you.
Well, I'm not Nafubala. I'm not holding it
because
for him.
You are a journalist.
You are a card carry member.
You are a journalist.
You are a card carry member of the ADC.
No. That is not it.
Perhaps what does the party say?
You have carried out research.
What does the party
and
say?
ascertain the fact that
I'm asserting the fact that he has come out in the open, and it's on all public media, to say that he is not a factional leader. He is the actual leader.
I'm sorry. It is unfortunate that you are still thinking in that way. These are old stories. The Supreme Court has trashed matters from that angle, and you saw within how many minutes the rightful leadership.
But the case was still thrown back to the Federal High Court.
That the case was thrown back is a trick. Are you getting me? The fact remains that Senator David Mark is the national chairman, and there's no argument about it.
Can he sell form?
At the moment, forms have been. What are you talking about?
At this point, you're saying that.
So you want to contest election? You are still waiting behind.
I'm not contesting. I'm a journalist, so let's put the record straight. But then looking at the whole ADC crisis.
Look, listen. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I am not a borrowed member of ADC. I am original member of ADC. What they refer to as legacy. And if Nafi Ubala was in ADC with me, what was he? I was the national vice chairman. Now you can call me emeritus by the leadership of Senator David Mark. So what was Nafiu Bala then? Are you getting me? I don't like making arguments that are unfounded. I wish you have brought Nafiu Bala to sit here and then he's talking to me one-on-one. And then he will tell me how he became the national chairman of the party I belong to. That makes sense. But when you don't bring it and you speculate over what is not there, it is annoying and at the same time a kind of waste of time over spilled milk. Are you getting me? Now, the INEC did what I have said this time without number, and I don't want repeating myself, on the media over something that, and you are making references to it, that I have said it here that he is not. So why bringing it up? The courts are made to do what they are doing because of the influence of the president, who was, virtually, use the courts to destabilize what ADC is doing. We know what government is doing.
So you're saying that the government.
So, and I don't want to go into.
You're saying that the government is destabilizing the ADC.
Of course, it's government. Let government come out. I have accused them. Let them come out and say they are not doing it. He has made reference to what Gbajabiamila did. What's his name? Leke. I ran Leke's election. Its primaries and all that. Leke was in the house. And Leke will tell you, I am not loyal to ADC. But because he was the only one sitting down there, we managed him. We will not throw away what we had. Else, we had everything that we would have used to expel him long ago. But because we cannot throw away the child with the bad water, we let him be in the house. So that anywhere we are, we say we have a member in the house. But he will come out and tell you that, look, do you think that it is ADC that gave me chairman of custom in the house from opposition? So ask yourself the question, if it were another person, say maybe me in the House of Representatives from an opposition party, will the House have given me the chairman of customs, knowing how lucrative that is and what he has done for all of them and keeping him there? Let him come out and talk to me. This is someone who will tell you plainly, we were campaigning in 2023 elections. He is campaigning under ADC. Of course, he brought members from his place who also campaigned and won under ADC. Honorable Salman, he is there. That one won to his election. The following month, he eloped into another political party. So these are people who come and hobnob. They hobnob. There are no integrity in all those things. All we are talking about is, if you want to have political stability, it is a place of INEC to regulate and see that you don't allow people to be doing things that are indespicable.
Before we get to
and
that,
then you call them honorable.
Before we get to INEC's position, let me even come back to Comrade James at this point. In 2023, Gregory Peter Obi came out with about 6,101,000 votes, thereabouts. Then Kwankwaso came out with around 1,400 and something thousand votes in that election. Now, one thing that for a lot of Nigerians said at that point is because they lack structures. Looking at the opposition political parties in Nigeria, then and now? Have opposition parties been able to gain momentum at the grassroots?
Well, I have always had a challenge with the saying that a political party does not have structure, because it all depends on what you mean by the structure and how you describe the structure. Because what I know about structure in political party affair is human beings. So when human beings are the ones that make up a political party, how do you now say the political party has no structure? So that is the issue. So there's no political party. There's no political party that does not have structure. So long as human beings have populated that political party, they have structure, and the individuals who make up that party, they are the structure of the party.
So the
structure is not good.
Let's take the structure from the word.
No, structure from the world, there's no political party. Let's just look at it.
Every other structure that forms a political party in practical
let's
terms.
Look at it practically.
Yes.
There is no way anybody can be a member of a political party without being a member of the political party at the ward level. Because it's at the ward level that you even register to become a member in the first place. So you cannot be talking about ward, because that is even the birthplace of the structure of a political party. So every other position in the political parties are from the ward level to the local government to the state and then the national. So you cannot be talking about, there's no way anybody can start talking about political party structure and then you say that there's no particular political party in Nigeria that does, unless the political party is not existing, because you must have, in fact, INEC have a documentation of the individuals that constitute the structure of the party.
You're saying at this point that all political parties have full representation.
Yes, they have
across local
yes,
exactly.
Exactly.
And this election is to happen today.
Yes.
The ADC, the Labour Party, the NDC, and other few political parties.
The problem of political parties in Nigeria has nothing to do with structure.
But they have effective representation at the local government level, even at their ward level. Recall this was what even through one of the things that affected Labour Party in at the Supreme Court level. Yeah,
no.
Please.
What affected the Labour Party in 2023 elections was not about the structure. You know, at the initial time, the argument was that, oh, there were 3 people in one room tweeting and things like that. That was the argument of the then government of President Muhammad Buhari. And then they had the APC had that. That was the description given before from the tweeting, and then he now got to a level where people now, oh, they say we don't have structure. They started coming out to the streets. You saw the different thousands and millions and million man march that was carried out at the time. So you saw even during the continuous voters registration exercise, because people saw that there was something like a little light at the end of the tunnel, that election, it seems results of election will count at this time, because of the promises made by INEC at the time, and also because of the electronic transmission of the result that was promised at the time of their election. People now came out actually to even vote, but at the end of it, what happened? A glitch happened, and then 3 elections that held in one day, you know, at the same time. 2 of it were, you know, transmitted electronically. 1 was not transmitted electronically, and you saw that because the presidential election was not transmitted electronically because of the so-called glitch, then you saw what happened at the end of it. So that is the thing. And then those political parties, they were saying they did not have structure. Were they not the ones producing so many numbers of senators that came to the National Assembly for the very first time? So some of them were relatively unknown. They were not known by everyone. But people who were at the grassroots, they knew them and they decided to vote for them. So let us not go into the argument of structure or no structure. The problem we should deal with is the systemic interference in political party affairs. We should have a one INEC that is for all the political parties. And then you don't treat one political party as if that political party is an enemy of the other political party. No, politics is is a game. It's not like a game of football. And then the referee should not take sides. And once the referee takes sides, you discover that it's no longer a game. It has become something else. So politics is not war. And we shouldn't make it look like as if politics is war.
And some will disagree with you when they define politics as a war
without bloodshed.
So,
yes.
So let's leave it at that. Permit me to come back.
Politics is a game.
Well, it's a war without bloodshed.
No, it's a game.
You can't take out that definition.
Today we have seen bloodshed everywhere.
To be a war without
Go and
bloodshed.
see how they blow themselves and bring out some blood out of themselves.
Before we even get to the punching part of it, let's even look at the conventions so far by the minority political parties and, of course, the not too popular political parties that we've seen so far. There's one particular rhetoric that have come to play out, and that is each time a stakeholder within the political party comes on the podium, they tend to criticize the government of the day. And that became like a reoccurring phenomenon and a common decimal factor that characterized even the entire convention. At this point, I'm curious, is the opposition parties currently providing a credible alternative or merely reacting to the failures of government so far? Let me bring this to you, and Dr. Peter.
Thank you very much. You see, it's rather very sad. It saddens my heart in the sense that we have failed as a people. And have taken the wrong path to correct or to develop. As a nation and as a people, with diversity, then coming together to move the country developmentally. The parties are not the problem. It is the ruling, the government in power that is the problem. And that has made it possible, almost impossible for political parties to realize their footings. And that is why you can see that it is almost like we are talking of this political party, you have issues. You are talking of these political parties, you're having issues and all that. The question you asked.
Yeah, are the opposition actually creating a credible, providing a credible alternative, or they are just merely reacting to the failures of government?
Now,
because this is what it seems
the
like
issue of credible alternative has been abused. I can tell you that as a scholar, because what I see in the space is not what I want to see building the party. I took ADC as my study. I was studying it. I'm trying to build a party to see what kind of Nigeria we can have using a political party like this. And apart from the names that we are seeing today coming out in the space to contest elections, we still have well-meaning Nigerians who love this country and who can contest elections and put the country in the right trajectory. And so when we talk about credible alternative, every political party has the potency for a credible alternative. Every political party has that potency to bring in or search for credible leaders with a vision to lead this country. And so for me, when you talk about a credible alternative, it's not in the hula baloo of, one big name, one known name coming in to be in a particular, and then the crowd are following. Because if you see what has played over in recent times, from when the coalition came together, known names came into ADC. There were other names that contested election under ADC before at that level. Now, there are other names now that are stronger, like the name of Obi, like the name of Atiku, like the name of the man from River State, Rotimi Amechi. These are known, politicians that have led this in this country at one point or the other. Now, them coming into a political party to make that party stronger, to face the ruling party, we are now seeing they are coming in as credible. Now, facing the sitting government and somebody like Tinubu, for you to face him, then you need to be in that.
Permit me to interrupt you a bit at this point. Well, it's an interesting time to talk about politics in Nigeria. But then let me take this as we wrap up. I won't bring this to you, Comrade James Ezima. For a lot of Nigerians, based on the current realities, People's Democratic Party is having its own internal wrangling. Mm-hmm. The Labour Party is having its own fair share. The ADC is also embracing its own with the recent happenings. A lot of people will say that it's just a matter of time. This wind will spill to the newborn baby.
If you don't put that,
so we can't say courtesy of the president. Well, but then, with the recent developments, where all major minority political parties and opposition parties tend to have a crack, come 2027, are we going to be seeing other political parties feature in the elections? A quick take.
You see, when one of the creations of media people is this idea of minor political parties. There's no political party that is registered
that's what we
by
got narrative,
INEC.
not too popular political parties.
There's no political party that is registered by INEC that is minor, because there is a basic requirement for registration of political party. You saw when over 100 political party or political associations applied to be registered as political parties. You saw that many of them did not make it. I think they narrowed it to about 8 of them, and eventually some of them were not even able to meet the basic requirement. So political parties are strong. Each political party that is registered is potentially equipped to produce leadership. See, one thing that people don't even understand about political party is that political parties are not just about elections. Political parties are groups where individuals can go and learn leadership. they practice, they learn leadership through the political party who they belong. So it is not just about coming to be governor, be local government chairman. That's just the minor
but you agree with
issue that has to do with
political parties are drivers.
Yes, they are actually drivers because the constitution
them to their permanent destination.
Because the constitution had made it in such a manner that you must have to belong to a political party to contest election. We are going to see as much people contesting election under different political platforms as possible. Yes, no matter what it is, except for the fact that there is a kind of influence, that driving towards ensuring that political parties don't even participate in the election, because some interests also want is a one-party dominance for the country, and that is one of the major challenges that we are facing. If we are to have a level playing field for political parties, and there is no external interference, allow political parties that have crises, have their problem, let them sort it out by themselves. Before now and before today, we have always had the courts rule that they have no they cannot decide the leadership of any political party, that the decision to choose leaders of a political party are vested in the political parties themselves. So INEC has no powers to impose a political party leadership on any political party. The same thing with the courts. The court has no powers to impose any political leadership on any political party. It is the membership of that political party that should be able to choose who they want to be their leaders. Just the same way that we are not supposed to be having courts deciding for us who becomes the president of Nigeria. So it is the people of Nigeria, the electorate, that should decide who becomes their leader. So that it is because of the way the things are, and because people don't want to play by the rules, and that is why we have some of these crisis everywhere.
So in the light of current realities, there will be election come from
election will take place because people, in fact, political parties
will definitely be.
Political parties are already buying. People are already buying forms. Those who have interest to contest election, they're already buying forms from among all the political parties that are selling the forms.
I think it's a good way to leave the conversation at that point. I want to say thank you so much, Comrade James Izima, for final time to be with us here on Correro.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Peter Ede, for doing this with us tonight.
God bless you.
Well, I know you're waiting for me to talk about the Tinubu part of it, but then let's skip that for tonight, because we'll definitely bring you back to look at the conversation again. But thank you so much, gentlemen, for being with us here on Correro.
Thank you very much.
Well, viewers, this is how far we can go tonight on Correro. Do not forget that you can leave your thoughts, you can leave your comments on our various social media handle currently showing on your screen. And you can also download the RapidTV app from your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. My name is Godwin Sunday. Always remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do enjoy the rest of your night rest. Bye for now.